Hi, everybody. There's no doubt that we're facing unprecedented times in our nation, in the world, and in our own lives. As you care for those around you and those in your network, I hope that you count yourself among those who also need to be cared for. Self care is so important at this time. I know that we've all shifted personally and professionally to respond to this quote unquote new normal. And as we get there, we're all going to need to rely on each other in ways that we haven't before, or at least not in a really long time. It's with this in mind, this idea that professionally things have shifted and we don't know really, truly what education could look like in the 2020 to 2021 school year. It is with understanding that those who are doing diversity work have made the shift from doing this work in person and sometimes literally hands on to moving to a virtual environment. I've heard the calls from people who are saying, how do I prove my worth, my role, my skills in a place where I can't do what is the foundations of my job? To sit literally with people in the midst of their own personal challenges, their own identity struggles, to help people to repair conflict, to literally move people from the place where they are. Knowing that those challenges won't go away, they've only translated. Knowing that many of us are in new roles, many of us are going into new schools in 2020, myself included. Knowing that there is no other time that I have lived in which the diversity practitioner is going to be both so critically important, have been so established in our schools, and yet has been so distant from the table. It is with this in mind that we say we will have NDPI 2020. The National Diversity Practitioners Institute just means a lot to a lot of people. It is the place where practitioners gather to catch their breaths from the year that has just ended and to gather the wind beneath their wings for the year that is ahead. It is where you come into the space and your story is understood and known, and sometimes you don't even have to tell it. But oh, when you do, it is received as if it is everyone's story. We need a place like that right now. And at the same time, the Glasgow group understands we can't gather together physically in a group as large as we have gathered for the National Diversity Practitioners Institutes in the other 6 years that we have been in existence. And so, like a lot of the country, like a lot of our schools, like a lot of the world, the National Diversity Practitioners Institute will go virtual in 2020. Our theme will be Put Your Own Mask On First. We will talk about being a diversity practitioner, whether you're the diversity director, the division head, the assistant head, the head of school, the business manager, the admissions director, the kindergarten teacher, the sixth grade teacher, the senior teacher. We all need this. We all are practitioners despite titles because we all roll up our sleeves and try to create a sense of belonging for everybody in our communities. And we'll need to sharpen those skills for 2020 to 2021. If we think about the context of 2020 to 2021, we're thinking about going back to schools in the height of probably one of the most tense and confusing presidential elections in the history of the nation. We're going back, still recovering from a pandemic, the likes of which most of us standing today have not seen before personally. We're going back into a context in which we already saw incidents of bias, discrimination, and hate on the rise in our own schools. And then when we made the shift virtually, we saw it also happening online. We're going back into a context in which the ability to create a sense of belonging, equity, and justice for all is going to be critically important to the literal sustainability of our schools. With that in mind, we simply had to find a way to hold our 3 days from June 22nd to June 24th as sacred and most important to preparing those who are gathering with us for the year ahead. We hope that you will join us. We are offering it at a reduced fee. The 3 days, June 22nd to June 24th, will have virtual sessions between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. They will come at a reduced fee of $8.95, but the fee is the only thing that will be reduced. If you know the Glasgow Group, you know we are known for creating safe spaces, brave spaces, authentic spaces, spaces where you can indeed put your own mask on first and experience the level of care that you give to everybody else coming right back to you. We can do that. We will do that this June. I run out of words to say in a moment like this, except that we need each other. We need a gathering of practitioners. We need to think about the skill sets that we already have and the skill sets we need to develop. We need to be thinking strategically. We need the National Diversity Practitioners Institute. So, registration ends May 22nd. I do hope that you will join us virtually. We will still see you as we would have seen you if we were standing together. And until the moment we get to stand together again, we get to embrace each other again, we get to hear in real time and tone the true laughter and the true joy that comes from this work again. Be well.